U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order rebranding the Department of Defense as the Department of War. He says it sends a, quote, message of victory to the world. And Nick Harper filed this report for CNA from Washington, D.C.
US President Donald Trump is answering the age-old question, what's in a name? For him, seemingly a lot. He signed an executive order rebranding the Department of Defense, removing that defensive posture the name suggests, and instead going with a much more front-foot feel. Department of War is the name he prefers, a distinct toughening up of the US military's branding.
I think it's a much more appropriate name, especially in light of where the world is right now. We have the strongest military in the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world. We have the greatest manufacturers of equipment by far. There's nobody to even compete. And you see that with this and so many other things. The Patriots are the best. Every element of the military, we make the best by far.
It's not the first time the name has been used. From its inception in 1789 through World War I and World War II to the late 1940s, it was called the Department of War. The president has previously said, referring to the two world wars, that the US had an unbelievable history of victory when it was called the Department of War. However, to make the name change permanent, Congress needs to agree. And until that happens, the rebranding remains a secondary title, but one that can be used on official correspondence and public communications. The timing of this should also be noted, coming as it does in the same week Chinese President Xi Jinping entertained the leaders of Russia and North Korea at an enormous military parade in Beijing. President Trump clearly trying to send a message that the US stands ready to engage and not just defend. For allies, the name change may reassure or perhaps worry them. And for rivals, this new name alone may be seen as a provocation at a time when the US leader is trying to portray himself as the president of peace, pursuing ceasefires in Ukraine and the Middle East, as he continues to promote himself as a serious contender for the Nobel Peace Prize. For CNA, I'm Nick Harper in Washington, D.C.